Sakata looked up, glaring at me. I noticed an article in the magazine with Takataro Sakata written on it. Feeling a little awkward, I said, "So you are the famous biologist Takataro Sakata?" "Praise often works." Sakata smiled. "And you are?" "I like collecting insect samples," I replied. He made a sound, showing he thought little of it. "That's not biology." "Of course," I said quickly, "but I have 2 very rare butterflies and a rare moth. I would love for an expert like you to say they are real someday." As I spoke, I watched his reaction. His eyes lit up, and he spoke softly in Japanese, "amazing," "almost impossible," and other surprised words. The insects I mentioned were very rare, and his excitement showed he was a real biologist. Only someone who knew a lot about the field would react so strongly. Sakata started talking passionately about biology, sometimes chatting with the woman in front, who seemed to be his secretary. He explained he was going to Manila for a conference for biologists in Southeast Asia, with top experts attending. Pretending to be such an important person seemed unlikely, so I stopped trying to find out, convinced he was not Song-fu. I thought Song-fu and Red were not on this flight, but doubts kept bothering me. Could Peter Huang's information be wrong? Would the police not check again? And Bai Kiwei was not careless. How could he miss this? At least Song-fu had to be on the plane. Peter had been clear. Song-fu used a Japanese passport as Takataro Sakata. Sakata was right next to me, yet clearly not Song-fu. The situation was confusing. I smoked angrily, hardly listening to Sakata's talk, thinking very hard. Even as the plane landed in Manila, I was no closer to answers. After landing, Song Jian and I left separately. In the customs area, I saw Bai Kiwei and the Whip Triad, while the 2 police officers in normal clothes focused on me. I gave a strange smile, thinking, "You are watching me, but who am I watching?" I had lost my target on the plane. I decided to go downtown and ask local friends to find clues. If that did not work, my last plan was to wait until Song-fu took the money, then find him through Red when we met again, a last effort to fix the problem. Lost in thought, I stood behind Sakata in customs. A heavy woman behind me stumbled forward, pushing me off balance. I quickly grabbed Sakata's shoulder to steady myself. In that moment, his right hand moved up very fast, trying to grab my wrist to counter. He let go of me instantly, moving back as if nothing happened. The woman apologized, and I said quietly it was fine, my heart beating fast. I avoided looking at Sakata directly, and when I turned, he stood with his back to me, acting as if he did not know. His move was clearly from Chinese martial arts, a reverse lock from the 70 to small capturing techniques. While a Japanese person could know this skill, a famous biologist doing it so well was very strange. I had been ready to stop following Sakata, but this incident made me doubt again. I decided to keep following him. Outside the airport, Sakata and his secretary got into a car with a local university's logo. I did not follow directly, instead checking into a luxury hotel. Song Jian stayed there too. Amusingly, the police agents and Bai Kiwei followed me closely, booking into the same hotel. I pushed aside my worries, took a long, refreshing shower, and lay on the bed to contact Song Jian using Old Man Bai's radio. The device was very small and sensitive, allowing clear talking across different floors. I shared my suspicions about Sakata. Song Jian agreed we should watch him closely and suggested he stay quiet since I was now an obvious target. If needed, I could give him all my findings, letting him act while I kept the police and Bai Kiwei busy. He admired my plan. After resting an hour, I called a friend, a news editor at a local paper, to ask about Sakata's address. He quickly confirmed Sakata's address and that the conference, held at a university, allowed anyone to attend. I noted the schedule and place, then slept well. Though I still had doubts about Sakata, I could not be sure he was Song-fu. I was trying very hard to find answers, but one piece of information about Sakata made me stop. My friend on the phone confirmed Sakata was indeed a famous biologist, called the traveling scholar because he traveled the world almost constantly. For a biologist, that was not strange. What caught my attention was that he had taught at the same U.S. university Red attended, and his most common destination was Thailand. He had no family, and even Japanese officials knew little about his past. Overall, Sakata's profile felt unclear and mysterious, covered in uncertainty. I did not leave the hotel until the conference began. My group of followers had grown to 5, including Filipino police officers in normal clothes. Bai Kiwei, still pretending to be an old priest, was with an unknown middle-aged man, while the Whip Triad stayed hidden. At the event, boring reports went on and on. Sakata's presentation lasted 4 hours and 20 minutes. The audience seemed very interested, but I fought to stay awake. For 4 days, Sakata's routine was easy to guess, attending the conference or staying at his hotel, which was not far from mine. I had paid a waiter there to report his movements. The situation stopped, with no new things happening. According to the papers, the conference would end tomorrow. I kept thinking about the customs incident. I was half willing to believe it was my imagination, yet sure of what I had seen. But Sakata now seemed truly himself. Many people there knew him from past conferences. That evening, I walked around my room, restless. Someone knocked. "Come in," I called. The fat police officer in normal clothes entered. I smiled widely. Finally decided to confront me? He gave an embarrassed smile. "You did not fool me, and I cannot fool you. What have you been doing these past few days?" I had noticed his frustrated face in the audience, clearly bored by talk of single cells and double cells. I laughed softly, about to answer, when the phone rang. It was the waiter I had paid. My heart beat faster. "What's up?" His voice was low, safe from the officer's ears. "Professor Sakata is leaving Manila tomorrow. Where to?" I asked. "Thassel Island," he replied. I stopped. "What is that?" He sounded helpless. "I don't know. Our country has over 3,000 islands. Even as a Filipino, I cannot know every name." "All right," I said. "When?" "I will confirm tomorrow," he said. Good. I replied. He hung up, and I turned to the officer. "An old friend wants to take me to dinner." He gave a strange smile. "Mr. Wei, if you find anything, contact us." I nodded. Feeling he would get no more information from me, he left. As soon as he was gone, I looked through the phone book and called Manila's largest bookstore to ask about their most detailed map of the Philippines. They said it only showed about 2,700 islands, a very good map with a high price. I confirmed the cost and sent a hotel waiter to buy it. Meanwhile, I called my newspaper friend, who checked his old records but found no Thassel Island. He noted many small Philippine islands were just rocks in the sea, often unnamed or with different names. When the waiter returned with the map, I searched the T and D sections. No Thassel Island or anything similar. My worry grew fast. Why was Sakata going to an island not on even the most detailed maps? He could say it was for collecting samples, but the island's unknown nature was suspicious. After a moment of thought, I decided on a very bold move, calling Takataro Sakata directly. Once the call connected, I said, "Professor Sakata, I am a reporter from XX News. After the conference, where are you going? Our readers would love to know." Sakata replied in English, "I plan to collect biological samples from the coastal islands of your country." I asked strongly, "Could you share which island you are visiting?" As Sakata waited, I heard a Chinese woman's voice through the phone. "Hurry up. Why are you still on the phone?" She was clearly nearby, her words coming into the call. It was strange enough that someone was speaking Chinese near Sakata, but the voice sounded very familiar, like Red's. Sakata spoke softly, "I cannot say," and hung up quickly. I held the dead phone, replaying the woman's urgent words, "Hurry up. Why are you still on the phone?" It hit me Sakata was about to leave Manila, possibly right now.